All right, man. I hate that. I hate when stuff like that happens. I hate when stuff like that happens, boy. Woo, Lord. Come on, man. Come on, Xfinity. Come on, man. Don't do me like that, Xfinity. Xfinity did me bad. They did me bad, man. Oh, my goodness. But we're back on. I was just getting in my groove, too. Bishop Bolo was about to start preaching, too, man. I was in my groove. I feel you, Cold Heat. I feel you, man. I was just about to get into my groove. And then that wants to happen. Oh, man. But thank you for everybody coming back on here. Nah, you know, it was two things that was going on, Cold Heat. And I'm sorry for everybody that's coming back on here. Y'all come on back. Y'all come on back. But the problem with it was, first of all, my laptop was actually, the battery was draining and I didn't have it plugged in. That's number one. And number two, I had it on the Wi-Fi rather than having it connected directly. But we're back again. Part two. Had to come back on this thing, part two. You know what I'm saying? And get back to what I was saying before. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody that will come back on this second live right here. Just had to get a few things situated. I went and got me something to drink. So, man, thank you, Big Quinn. Thank you for coming back on, man. The first one was actually really good, but this one right here is a little bit different. You know, we're gonna just jump right into where I was leaving off at, and if they want to come back on here, if the others want to come back on here, that'll be great. If not, it's all good, man. You know, we try to do things, you know, the way we can. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way I am. You know, I try to do it the way I can and try to have the best experience for you guys either way. But thank you. I try to be as honest as possible. You know what I'm saying? I try to be as honest as possible. But yeah, what was I saying? Like, basically what I was saying on the last thing before I got cut off is there's a lot of people that I went to, I was in a lot of different situations so far as like being in a record deal or being in a stream, and not stream, but being in the record industry and being in the industry. I'm just worried about the stream. You know, every situation was different. I had wrote songs for people. I dealt with different A&Rs. I did everything that I could to try to stay in the music game. And then lo and behold, I ended up finding YouTube. And one thing about YouTube was I could really just be myself, like just really be the nerd that I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be the big Bolo. You know what I'm saying? When I'm out, I could just talk to you guys just like this, come back on here and just have a honest conversation with you guys about things that I think that excites me. And I think, you know, what excites me is me giving out information, because I did not have, you know, this when I was coming up. I didn't have people that were telling me certain things that I needed to know when I was coming up. And a lot of stuff that I do say, I'm saying this strictly in a sense of I'm trying to help you guys out. And I don't want to give any bad information. That's like the main thing. I don't want to give out any bad information, because bad information makes things very, very, very bad. Because you're like, Bolo said that. You know what I'm saying? Bolo said that. He said this. And, you know, I put my faith in what I say. Like, if I like a certain speaker, if I like a certain MIDI controller, if I like a certain machine, I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like it. So I'm going to back myself up if I say certain things so far as equipment and the tangible things. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to back myself up on that. When it comes to the intangibles, like learning your way through the music industry and trying to get a hit record or trying to do this and trying to do that, I can't sit here and tell you that I can lay out a plan for you and it's going to work. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. For all you guys that's on here, for the ones who did come back, please go ahead and hit that like button so we can get everybody back in here and let them know that we are back. You know what I'm saying? Some people are like, Bolo just faded away. What happened? Man, Xfinity got me again. You know what I'm saying? For real. Now, the beat review is going to run smooth. I was on Wi-Fi. I'm down here in this basement. I have a big house, and I'm back here in the corner, and there is no windows or anything down here where I'm at. I chose this room for a reason. So the Wi-Fi is horrible, and I usually do a hard connection, so that's why it messed up, so we ain't got to worry about it. Thank you, Low Frequency. And y'all, please go ahead and share this, too, if you can. Please go ahead and share this so you can let people know that I'm on here. So that's a big thing, sharing. Make sure you guys not only just hit that like button on here. Make sure you guys go ahead and share the lives as well, because I'm going to be doing a lot more lives. I like communicating with you guys this way. And then I think I'm actually going to set up a subscription-based service so y'all can see a few extra videos a month through the subscription service. I think I'll keep it like really low, like $5 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? First world problems, commercial, of course. But if you guys are back on here, make sure you guys go ahead and click on my affiliate links and check out, of course, Zounds.com, Analog Cases, all that good stuff. Make sure you guys click on those affiliate links. That will help me out tremendously. Make sure you go ahead and click on that. Go ahead and hit that Zounds, man. Make sure you guys go get some equipment. No credit or debit check. You know what I'm saying? You're good. No credit or background check. You go ahead and just, bam, go ahead and get it and pay it off over time. Just link your card up. But thank you so much, Burns66. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. But like I was saying before, there's a lot of people that are saying that, okay, if you do this or if you do that, you're going to make it in the music industry. You're going to do this, you're going to do that. No. Nobody can tell you what you can do in the music industry. Nobody cannot give you a blueprint. Even the people that are there don't know. Even the people that are in the music industry, they don't know what is going to work or what is not going to work. So for somebody who has never been in any type of music situation, who's never been in the offices, who's never been at labels, who's never been at meetings, who's never took the emails, never had to deal with the consequences of their decisions in an actual record deal, you cannot take any information from that person seriously. I just got to keep it 100. You can read a book about it. You can do all this stuff. Like I actually tell people, read David Passman has books, everything you need to know about the music business, or all you need to know about the music business, which I need to get up with them because they say they got a new edition coming out soon. But you cannot sit here and tell people this is what you have to do to beat the music system, or this is what you have to do to make a hit record. We don't know. My biggest hit record came on the cheapest gear. Some people have way more gear than what I have right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can really buy whatever I want, but I don't need it because I know what I've done with much less. So it doesn't take a $10,000 piece of equipment to make a hit record. It doesn't take paying $30,000, $50,000, $70,000 to manufacture a hit record. It doesn't take none of that. You know what I'm saying? I've seen people just throw up a video, like just throw something up out the blue. They might have 10 followers, throw something out the blue, it just catches on, and next you know, now they're a superstar. You don't know what it's going to take, but I do know there's certain procedures and certain ways that goes into it that can get you there a little bit faster, or it can help you out, or I can tell you guys some of the mistakes that I made that I may not want you to make. You have to be a maverick in a sense. But this is just music. You're supposed to have fun doing it. And I think right now, a lot of people are just trying to be so successful that they're forgetting that you have to have fun. That's the biggest thing, is having fun. Having fun in the music business. Because if you don't have fun, that's when you have a lot of stuff that's going on where people are now depressed, they have anxiety, they have this, they have that. And trust me, you do not want to go through that. That's one of the things I had to go through. You don't want to do that. So make sure that everything you're doing is fun, number one, and then two, try to get the best advice from people that have been in it. Just because people have a lot of followers, just because people have a lot of subscribers does not mean that they know exactly what is going on in these offices. I haven't been in a record label office in probably over a year and a half now. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't, you know, I haven't been in there. So I don't know what's changed with now with so much stuff with AI and everything. We don't know what is going to be what right now. We don't know if we're going to be listening to real artists. We don't know what's going on. So for anybody to say this is what you can do to make a hit record, or I have music industry insights and this, that, whatever, you cannot say that. I have it. I can still call my old A&R and see, you know, he's still working for a record company now. I can still talk to A&Rs right now, even though that role is kind of really being fizzed out. You know what I'm saying? But I can still talk to people who still actively work for record companies. I can still talk to these people. Call them. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was there, I was very cool. I was very respectable of people. I respected everybody, you know, around the building. I did that. You know what I'm saying? It was some people that might have been mad about certain decisions that I made, but I had to stick with my guns and do what I needed to do. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people that are just, they're making whole videos on like, this is what you can do to make a hit record. Or I have this to show you guys how you can get here faster, or this, that, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen that way. I'm sorry to tell you guys, it just does not happen that way. It doesn't happen. What you can do, the best thing that anybody can tell you is give you stories of what they went through in the music business. That's the best thing that they can do, is give you stories of what they had to go through and what they had to endure. Like, to be truthfully told, some of the best music advice comes from like Drink Champs or $1 Million Worth of Game, because now you're hearing stories. You know what I'm saying? You're hearing stories of what is really going on behind the scenes. And it's showing you guys that the same stuff that's happening now was going on then, but back then you didn't have social media, so you didn't know about all of the stuff that was going on now. You know what I'm saying? You didn't know who was beefing with who. You didn't know what was going on with who. If you did, it was a national thing if somebody leaked something, but a lot of times people kept stuff in-house so that it wouldn't be a police thing or nobody wouldn't get arrested. They kept things pretty much in the street. They kept it behind those sacred doors. Now everything is now out in the open. And yeah, a little information might float out, a little birdie might give out a little information or whatever, but then people take that one little piece of information and they just completely run with it. You know what I'm saying? They just completely run with it. But then if I say some stuff, there's like, Bolo, what you know? I got enough plaques to let people know I know a lot. And then to be truthfully honest, I'm gonna be totally honest with you as well. There's a lot of people who have plaques that still don't even know nothing about the music game. They just might have a good manager, and the manager might relay the message to them, and then they're cool. It's a lot of people that have plaques that never made any money off those songs. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of stuff that people have to understand about what goes on in the music business. What up, EA Ski? What's good, man? My dog Ski on here. We on part 2, man. Part 1, Xfinity got me bad. They got me bad. Everybody that's on here right now, if you can, go ahead and hit that like button so we can trigger that algorithm again. Yeah, a lot of people fell off, man, but I'm glad that you guys are back on, man. A lot of people fell off. You know, I guess they had to go barbecue or get ready for the game. But that I was heating up. Bishop Bolo was heating up on that first live, y'all. I was heating up. I was in that pool pit getting right. All I need is my little rag to wipe my face. I was getting there. Thank you, DJ88, for the donation to the collection plate. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. The almighty EA Ski is on here, and Ski will tell you, no record situation, nobody can tell you, oh yeah, 40 people forgot to like. Yeah, just hit the like button. Hit that little thumbs up button, y'all. That's all y'all got to do. But brother EA Ski would tell you, there is no one situation that is the same. If you work with an artist and they might sign with Asylum, it's a totally different situation from when somebody may sign with, like, back in the day when Universal, everybody was signing Universal back in the day. I ain't gonna get onto that. But like if somebody did a deal with Universal, those situations would be two totally different things. And even though you may have worked on a song and you feel like this beat is the hardest beat in the world, the lyrics could be the best, everything could be great about this song, at the end of the day, some of those songs still never did go anywhere. So how can anybody tell you this is what you need to do about the music business? Thank you, DJ Hadouken. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, brother, man. You didn't have to do that. Thank you, man. I appreciate the donation, man. Like, it's so many different situations. Like when EA was helping out Master P, I'm pretty sure when he was doing that, it was totally different from when he helped out other artists. Because y'all got to understand, EA Ski was like the Dr. Dre, you know what I'm saying, of that Northern Cali shit back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So he knew a lot of people. Still knows a lot of people. You've seen all the people he has on his channel, and they have stories. That right there is the best information you can get, is actual factual stories from people. Now, some people may stretch a little story here and there, but usually when it comes to the music industry, one thing is pretty much consistent. You have to understand the intertwinings of what goes on between office to office, person to person, this and that. That's what you have to know. And one thing I want to say right here, for all the people that are on here watching right now, you know what I'm saying? For all the people that are watching right now, for the people who did come back, all this whole thing about industry plants and all this stuff like that, I seen people talking about, oh, this person's an industry plant. Like right now they're calling Sexy Red, the girl who has the My Coochie Pink Booty Hole Brown song with the Pound Town record. They're calling her an industry plant. No, she's not an industry plant. Not at all. Not at all. You know what I'm saying? Not at all. If people follow her before, she had records out before, it's just that she made a song, with, I think it was WizKid Films. It blew up, even including me on my IG. I made a skit to it. Other people were making skits to it because she had a very catchy line in the song, and she blew up that way. But then she remained humble. She kept working, and it kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Do we like the message she's saying? Some people like it, some people don't. But hey, at the end of the day, she's at where she's at. It's not like an industry thing. Some people say Nav was an industry plant. No, you got to look at all the stuff Nav was doing before that. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole industry plant thing, and people making videos, oh, this is an industry plant. This person, this, that, whatever. Nah, man. No, it does not work like that. It does not work like that. What's good? What's good, Jamil Bradley? What's good? The Bradley's in the building. But nah, it does not work like that. People were calling Silento an industry plant. That was the craziest thing. It's like, oh, he's an industry plant. Nah, we had a viral hit record. And that record took really 6 months. I wouldn't say 6. It took 4 months to kind of really get there. We made it in late December, mid-December, and like March, that's when it really kind of like took off. You know what I'm saying? But like everybody tries to use these certain words and certain, you know, slangs and stereotypes and saying this, that, whatever. And they try to make stuff seem cool, or they try to make themselves seem cool. Like, hey, you know, I know what's really going on in the music industry. You don't. A lot of y'all people that are saying this stuff are reading articles, and as soon as you read the article, you just make a video about it. And that's what people are doing right now. That's why I say you got to be aware what you're getting, where you're getting this information from. You got to understand where you're getting all this information from. It's not good to have bad information floating around everywhere, but that's the net. The good thing about the net is there's a lot of great information too. But like I said before, a lot of the great information comes from tutorials and stuff like that, showing you how to do something. I would never take that away from YouTube. YouTube is golden, diamond when it comes to trying to find information, but you gotta kind of scroll through it. But you'll find something like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I was looking for right here. Yeah, this is it. This is it. This is definitely it. You know what I'm saying? I found a lot of great information from people who only have like 10, 12 followers. You know what I'm saying? But they had some great videos. There's some people that had some like top tier videos with like 100 followers and great stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. So that's what YouTube is for. Now it's become a broadcast network. And now anybody could start a show. Like right now, everybody on here can start their own YouTube and do their own thing, which I tell people to do that. But if you're going to do it in a way where it does not disrespect the culture and disrespect what people have laid out in front of us. Like everybody talks about the music industry too, like how bad the music industry is and how you can get your music stolen and what's happened. Yes. A lot of that has happened, not just in the music industry, but it's happened with everything. With everything in the world. We're not even talking about a lot of stuff that's happened in Africa years ago where a lot of stuff has been stolen. I'm not even going to get into that. But yes, there has been some songs that have been taken. There has been some publishing that has been paid. Hell, I got a few songs where I never got paid from, but at the end of the day, that's just my experience. It got me to where I'm at right now, and that's why a lot of stuff doesn't bother me anymore. But what does bother me is when people come up here and give out fake information. That right there is not good for anybody. You know what I'm saying? That's not good for nobody's giving out fake information. Chill Wave Beats. How do you copyright my beats? You can go right here on YouTube and type in how to copyright my beats, and it'll be like 500 videos will pop up. And what you do is you go to the video with a whole bunch of views, and it has good likes, and it has good ratings, and you look at that video. It's very simple. You just go to the website, and the website is like, it's way better than what it used to be. We used to have to mail all that stuff in. Now you can go to a website, and then bam, you're good to go. You know what I'm saying? You're good to go. You can do everything right online right now. The moment that you put it up on the site, you don't even have to pay for it on the copyright site. As long as you download that stuff to it and then you pay it, it's copywritten from that point. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of stuff that you can get on here. But you got to be careful of the scams on here. You got to be careful of the people who are scam artists on here. There's a lot of scammers on here. And that's what you got to look out for. And some of you guys don't notice it because you guys are used to being scammed with everything in life. A lot of people came on here. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. A lot of people came on here and were talking about how I dress. Dang, Bolo, for all the stuff you did, man, you really simple, bruh. You real simple. You don't really even buy stuff like that. I don't know if I can trust you like that, man. Like, bruh. What? I've been through that whole phase. I went through that phase the first bit of money I got back in 2005, 2006. I had like 200 grand and I thought I was doing it, spending frivolous money on a whole bunch of stuff. Got my first little situation. I was a Tommy Hilfiger guy and a Polo guy, buying all that stuff. And then after everything kind of went downhill, it's like what I had to show for it. So this time around, I didn't spend my money on that stuff. I spent the money on the stuff that I needed rather than the stuff that I wanted. See, that's the thing. A lot of y'all are like going after the glitz and glamour and the flashy things rather than hearing the message from the people that actually went through it. If you look at any of the billionaires in this world, you will never see them walking around with a $1,000 outfit. Well, technically they do walk around with very expensive outfits, but the shirts are like $400 plain white t-shirts. Nothing flashy, even though the shirts are very expensive. You got to look it up. Those billionaires actually wear very expensive stuff, but it's not like Polos and Tommy Hilfiger and Versace. They don't wear all that stuff. Only the flashy billionaires do that. And that's the ones who, are not even that rich as like some of the other billionaires. Most very rich people live very modest because they got everything. They don't spend their money on everything. I spent my money on everything that I've ever wanted. Some of the stuff I took back. I don't have barefoot speakers. I don't had several keyboards. I don't had different compressors, EQs, Rolex watches. I've had all of that stuff. If I wanted a Lamborghini today, I can get one today. But I would rather take my money and put it in real estate. You know what I'm saying? Why would I keep all that money in the bank when I could just put it in the house and let it just appreciate, which I have. Every time I get a publishing check, I invested in something. I don't want that money on me. People are like, do you got that money, Bolo? Nope, sure don't. But I can look at it. Every time I ride by a property, I can look at it. See, the people that try to get you with the glitz and glamour and this, that, whatever, that's not it. And especially the people who try to sell you a course every time we turn around and do something. It's a course for this. It's a course for that. It's a course for the music industry. How are you going to sell a course for the music industry and you've never been in the industry? How are you going to sell a course for that? I did get rid of the barefoots. I did get rid of the barefoots. It was one of them buys where I just kind of like went out and just bought it. But then when I got it, I was like, I don't really need it. I'm cool with my JBLs. I'm cool with my little folk house. I didn't need the barefoots. I was good with I'm good with what I'm with right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of things that people don't understand. Like, you know, people get caught up in, hey, man, this person has a lot of followers, so he must know what he's talking about. People, and I got to tell people this too. Yes, people might have a lot of subscribers, a lot of followers, but a lot of times, even with me, I got over 140,000 subscribers. Roo-ha, hooray. But out of them 140,000 followers, maybe about 14,000 of them actually really pay attention. And another 10% of that actually is real fans. So I maybe have about 1,400 fans, real congregation members out of those 140,000. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people are curious rather than being fans. They're just curious of what you do and they will hit like to see what's next. I get it. Just because I have 140,000 subscribers doesn't mean I'm going to get 140,000 views on all of my videos. It doesn't happen like that. A lot of subscribers are just their subscribers. They just clicked and they probably never came back off of one video. But I know how music works. I know how percentages work. I know how analytics work. So like I said before, a lot of people are not followers of you. They're not subscribed. They're just people who are curious of what you do. That's why, you know, if you notice, people get a lot of views on current events. So like if say for instance, right now, the biggest current event right now isn't music. It's sports. It's the Colorado Buffaloes. Shout out to brother Deion Sanders, Master Deion Sanders, for what he did with TCU over the weekend. And his son and Travis Hunter and all them, and, you know, what he did with them group of guys, you know, those young men. That's the biggest story. So if you cover that story today, you're almost guaranteed to get followers and likes and views because that's the trendy topic. The other week, the other trendy topic in the music industry was Serato sample. That was the trendy topic in the music business. So if you did a video about that, you're going to get some views. Now you got the new Focusrite stuff, which I did that. I did that on my own. Once I seen it, they didn't send me anything. They are going to send me something now, but they didn't send me anything at first, but it was cool to talk about that. But that Colorado game was epic. 510 yards, school record, first game. But I'm going to tell you right now, they better be ready for Nebraska. They better be ready for Nebraska. That's all I'm going to say. I've seen games where you started off like that and people start noticing, okay, we need to guard this person, guard that. Adjustments will take place very soon. I'm giving Colorado a 6-5 season. You know, If they got 11 games, 6-5, I think they'll make a bowl game. But that schedule they got is, ooh, my God. But enough about sports. But right now, that's what I'm saying. Like, people want to be on trendy topics. Me, I don't like to get on the trendy topic thing because I don't want to seem like I'm following trends. I don't want to do that. And then one thing, if you do want to save your channel, is you're going to always talk about the music business and how bad it is and what's going to happen and, you know, what this is going to do and, you know, what's the trends of music and AI and all this stuff. It's always going to be something about the music business that's always going to generate likes and follows and stuff like that. We can talk about the same thing for days, but there's only very few that can actually give you real insight to what is going on. There's only a very few. I love a lot of the channels. Don't get me wrong. I love a lot of the channels, but very few are going to give you the insight that you need to understand. That's why a lot of times when I do videos, I try to give it in a story form now, because I'd rather tell a story than to just beat you with tutorials. I like to talk to you guys straight up about stories. What this story means. You know, why is this person telling you this story? A lot of times, and it's like watching First 48. I'm not really a fan of watching shows about death and people dying. But if you ever noticed in First 48, when they get those guys in the room, they just break down. A lot of times they break down and they just have to tell it all because they have to get it off their chest. They have to let somebody know. It's the same way when you hear musicians tell their stories. They're telling you a lot of times because they have to get it off their chest because they don't want you to go through the same thing. That's why when EA Ski was bringing people like Battle Cat and all these producers on, they were telling stories. When Producer Grind brings on like Timberland, brings on Metro Boomin, they're telling stories. They're interviewing, but they're telling stories from what they went through. That is the best advice that you can get from anything. Dirty Game was good. E Night was good, man. But y'all don't know, if y'all was in Tampa, Florida back in the day, boy, Dirty Game used to come on, man. Ooh, that was a good moment in history right there. Boy, Dirty Game, E Night was good. But like I was saying before, like, you know, when people tell stories, they're telling you stories for a reason. That's why I said on the last live before we got interrupted, places like Drink Champs and $1 Million Worth of Game and now the Cameron and May Show, those are some of the best places to get your industry insight to find out what's going on. Instead of getting it from somebody who's never been there. Like, they have way more stories than me. Like, I'm a guy who, you know, I got 13 million records sold. Cool. I can actually claim more, but I didn't really get paid from the other ones, and I didn't get my proper recognition. It's cool. But I can say 13, really 14 million now. But I got all of that, right? And I can tell you my stories. I can tell you some things I went through and tell you what I kind of did, in which I will have other, you know, videos saying, okay, this is what I did to get to this point. I can't tell you everything in one video or whatever, but, you know, I try to do as much as I can to help you guys out in a very honorable way and trying to make sure that we give the proper information out, because it's a lot of bad information that is coming out. A lot of bad information. You say, hey, when I see my CD sale at the mall, I felt like I made it. Man, that was one of the best things ever, when somebody would buy your CD. Because that was like, you know, that was a tangible thing. You could touch that CD. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Brother Paul. And thank you so much for your generous gift the other day. Thank you, Brother Paul. Thank you so much about that, man. He gave a generous donation to the offering. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? But you just got to be weary out here, you guys. And for everybody that's on here right now, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you are watching this right now, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me, please. Hit that thumbs up or that thumbs down, and please share this live stream if you can. Hit that thumbs up for me, please, you guys. It helps me out so much so I can get my message across on here by just going ahead and taking 1 second out your day and hitting that thumbs up button. And I'm not talking the one in the chat thing. I'm talking about the thumbs up, the like button on there. Please hit that like button underneath with the video that you're watching me on right now. Y'all go ahead and do that for me and run those likes up so we can get a few more people on here, because I'm gonna have to shut this down because I still have to enjoy my Labor Day as well. And I gotta go get my kids. They got football practice today. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Thank you, guys. Thank you for everybody hitting that like button for me. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys, for hitting that like button. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. There we go, y'all. There we go. But yeah, just be careful. You know, I know a lot of people are like, oh man, you know, everybody want to go at Busy Works Beats. Everybody want to go at Busy Works. You know what I'm saying? Busy Works is not a bad guy at all. Like, he reached out to me. I'm gonna go on one of his lives. We've been meaning to do this since last year, I believe, or earlier this year. I forgot to hit him back, but I'm gonna go on one of his lives. I think he's a cool brother. He's been doing this for a long time, put a lot of work into it. You know what I'm saying? I love his tutorials. He makes some of the best FL tutorials. One thing to say about Busy Works Beats is he makes great tutorials, quick tutorials. Now that he got those shorter ones, you know what I'm saying, for the YouTube shorts, he makes some really good stuff for YouTube shorts, and he's built up his community to where he's at right now. He's did his thing. He's put in his work. You know what I'm saying? Now, with the industry insights, I ain't gonna get all into that, but you know what I'm saying? He does his thing with the tutorial side of it. But I'm never gonna knock a man for, you know, working and doing what he has to do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are like, what do you think about Busy Works Beats? He's doing what he has to do. Do I have to agree with everything somebody's doing? No. But it doesn't mean I have to tear somebody down. I might be like, nah, I just don't agree with that. Which people might not agree with me. But one thing about me is I'm going to tell you from something that actually happened to me. So if somebody says, what was one of the craziest things that happened to you while you were signed to a record deal? And I can say my A&R cussed out another girl in the club. It actually happened. He was drunk and actually called a girl a B, like on some funny stuff. Like, he didn't even notice what he was doing. It was crazy. That was like the craziest moment. Everything else was cool. The label treated us right. We had no issues. We were good. We have a lot of stories to tell that some of you guys will never know. Wasn't no bad things like, you know, we were doing crazy stuff. It was just like, you know, arguments amongst people and, you know, some crazy ideas the label tried to get us to do. It'd be like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been through stuff like that. And I would never put that out because that's between our little circle. That's between our little group. And just some things are just not meant to be said. Like, it's so much information out there. Everybody's just telling everything. Yeah, you know, I'm staying safe. I just don't want to give people the bad impression about the music industry because the first thing that people come up with is like, oh my God, you don't want to sign to the music industry. It's a 360 deal. They're going to take everything from you. And it does not work like that. One thing I can say about Capitol Records, when we did spot show dates, like when people would call us and say, hey, we would want Silento to come out and do a show, they didn't touch not one red cent of those club dates. We even did a small tour. They didn't touch none of that. Now, if the tour had to go through the label and then we needed label support, yes, they would have gotten a percentage of that tour, but they didn't worry about that. They didn't worry about none of that. Now, if we did apparel and stuff like that through the label, of course, they got a piece of that. They did. Because that's the language that was in the contract. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But they didn't touch none of the stuff. None of it. Once we recouped, we got paid. Didn't have any issues over at Capitol at all with that situation. When I was dealing with the Taylor Girls, no issues over there with RCA. The A&R is cool. Everything was cool. Label was cool. I didn't really have much to do with it because it was a different situation. They were being managed by their father. He took care of the business and stuff like that. I just stayed out the way. It was a different situation. The same way of getting the songs on was the same because I did kind of like the same thing. But it is what it is. Okay, OTG said in 2023, would you rather have a 360 on what you agreed than pay back that advance out of that 0.33 cents music streaming sales? It's different. That 0.333 is different with you than depending on what a label collects. If you kind of understand where I'm coming at, it's different. It's not the same. See, the thing is, the streaming companies, the label are pretty much like this. The label's going to make their money back. All right. So you're actually going to pay that back a little bit faster with a label because the label is going to spend more money on marketing and everything else so they can get that streaming money back. And then they get a bigger chunk because they own the copyright of that. A lot of that 0.333 and all that stuff like that comes from, like it comes from basically a mechanical payout when it comes from like Apple and stuff like that versus a performance payout in a sense. So it's a lot of other stuff that goes into that. Okay. And even what the publishing companies do or whatever like that, because you just don't get paid from a record company. You get paid from your publishing. You get paid for all that stuff like that, your royalties and everything. And then you sign a publishing deal. So you'll get money from that you got to recoup from and stuff like that as well. It's a lot of different ways that you can collect that money back because now you have a machine behind you that's going to pretty much force it to where they're going to kind of break even. If they don't, they have other acts that will break even and the doors stay open. That's just how it works. So yeah, I would sign if I had a deal with a label right now and the deal looks good. Yes, I would sign that because it's best to use somebody else's money than your money. That's the law of business. That's why when you see a lot of the people out here and they're like, oh man, why doesn't such and such just put out his own stuff and use his own money? No. In business, real business, you use other people's money to make your money. That's how it works. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But that's the art of business. That's why even the biggest businesses that have hella capital, they still borrow from banks. So you use the bank's money to make you more money, and then plus it works better on your behalf with taxes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. Okay, 365 OTG. Okay. That's what's up. So like I was saying before, I took the long route when it came to this situation and it paid off. I wasn't the type of person that was just chasing after every single dollar. I couldn't do that. I engineered. I did that, but I didn't chase after every single dollar. You know what I'm saying? But that is what it is. Yes, yeah, intricate corporate, yeah, sponsorships, yeah, same thing. But I tell people right now is like, when you're watching these videos, when you're watching certain people, whatever, just keep your eyes and ears open for the BS. Because, one thing about me is I can prove everything about what I do. So nobody cannot question me about what I've done musically. I got everything hanging up in here. You know what I'm saying? And I was actively involved in the situations as well. I was actively involved in the situations. So it wasn't nothing to where I didn't have my fingerprint on something. But like I said before, every situation was different. Every situation definitely was different. It definitely was different. Nothing was the same. Nothing was the same. But it was definitely different. And like I said before, you cannot learn how to be a surgeon from somebody who has never been a surgeon. You can't learn how to work on cars from somebody who has not worked on cars. You can take a few bolts off and learn stuff over time, but it would take you a long time. You have to learn from somebody who was actually in it. You can't learn to be a great lawyer from an auto mechanic. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn from other great lawyers, like what to do, what to expect in the court. Who is this judge? Like how to read judges, how to read, certain jurors, how to, you got to learn. The best way to be a great engineer is to learn from other engineers. If you want to be a good mix engineer, you got to learn from the best. Right now, you can go to Mix with Masters, pay that for a year, and see the top engineers do their thing. If you want to learn to be a great producer, you got to learn from the ones who are great producers. And some people may say, oh, man, some of these great producers, their beats don't even sound that good. Well, to you, they don't, but to the artist, they sound great. Maybe the artist doesn't want all of that stuff in the beat. See, the problem is a lot of you guys who are producing, y'all thinking that making beat battle beats is the ones that these artists want. They don't want that. They want to be able to hear themselves. You got to understand these artists are people who want to be heard. A lot of these artists are so into themselves that they feel like that if the beat is too much, they're not going to be heard. Produced by Tavern. So how do I know what to believe? I just said it before. You got to believe the people that were in it. Like the people that were really in the music game, that really have real plaques, that have real experience, all that stuff. Learn from those people. And a lot of them don't even have YouTube channels. They just come on and do interviews. That's why I was saying that Drink Champs, $1 Million Worth of Game, places like that where they actually interview a lot of these artists and producers and stuff like that, where they sit down and have dialogue and tell stories. Learning a story, a good story about what somebody has went through is some of the best information you can get. You know what I'm saying? That's the best information you can go through. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember my guy was telling me one time, the best information a man can get about marriage is from another man who was divorced. And I didn't get it at first until I went to my divorce, and I was like, oh, brother, I can tell you some stuff. Like right now, I can tell you some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I didn't go through a dirty divorce, but I went through it. You know what I'm saying? But luckily, my kids' mothers, we cool, everything's cool, co-parent, stuff like that. And I can tell other people who are getting married that, okay, this is what, you need to do, this or whatever. I went through that experience. Never thought I would, but I went through it. And you have to learn from people from experience, because when you go through that, you get better as well. It molds you in a different way. Like right now, my fiance now, like me and her are like, great, because I went through all of that to get to this point. You know what I'm saying? So it's best to learn from people who have actually went through it. I'm telling you right now, listen when 50 Cent talks. When he leaves those cryptic messages, certain things about artists and producers and stuff like that, listen to 50 Cent. Listen to these older artists when they talk about what they went through and what they endured. Listen to them. That will get you there. Listen to when, a producer might say, oh, I charged this person this much, or I didn't even charge this person this because I did this and did that, or I went about my way of doing this. Listen to them. You know what I'm saying? Listen to them. But don't just listen to somebody because they have a whole bunch of likes and followers. That ain't it. You have to listen to people who have actually experienced. You know what I'm saying? Of course, producer grind. Crazy. Listen to what those producers got to say. You know what I'm saying? Even the young ones who are still learning. A lot of them are still learning, but especially when they do like the older producers like Timberland and stuff like that, that interview doesn't even have the amount of views I think it should have, because he gave so many gems in that. Metro Boomin's interview was great, full of gems on there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of producers on there gave some really good gems on there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you're right, Intricate. Tony Yayo. Woo. You know what I'm saying? Tony Yayo will give you some great interviews. And you can look at the way he moved and some of the things about that. Like it's a lot of stuff that you can learn, but you have to learn it from the perspective of somebody that was there. And I'm going to leave it off on this point right here. A lot of people knew about the the Tulsa riots, okay? I'm gonna take you a little bit to the left a little bit. A lot of people knew about the Tulsa riots that happened recently. Like I would say in the past 10 years, it like really came to light where people started to know about the Tulsa riots. Because a lot of people didn't know about it. It wasn't any history books or nothing like that. But they started getting eyewitness accounts from kids. These kids now are like in their 90s. Or they're very old. And they're giving eyewitness accounts of what really happened. And now you know the magnitude of what happened to Tulsa at that time. And now they can't hide it. They thought that a lot of people were going to die off or nobody really would know about the Black Wall Street and stuff like that. And now you really know what happened because it was from a first-hand experience. A first-hand experience. So now you can feel what happened. Right? You can feel what happened. So like now, once you do that, you can go from that experience and learn it for your own. You can do some research on it and stuff like that. And it's the same way with music. If your favorite producer is saying, okay, this is what happened, I ain't do this and do that, think about why that happened. You know what I'm saying? Think about all that. Just think about it. Think about that. When a certain mix engineer says this is the reason why I do this to this bass, or if there's a certain executive that talked about, like it's so many executives right now who used to be around Biggie and be around Tupac, and they're now finally really starting to talk and give interviews and stuff like that. And they're saying all the stuff that happened. This is for something for you guys to take heed to, because stuff really ain't changed. Music has evolved and changed in a bit, but a lot of the same stuff goes on every day in the music business. But just for me personally, I cannot take anybody serious that has not had that music industry experience. Like, Decap, Illmind, yeah, a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So just understand that. Don't get caught up in the hype with the people with a whole bunch of followers and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't get caught up in the hype of what I do. You know what I'm saying? I do some videos that, I do some tutorial stuff and I talk about a few things. But just understand that one thing about me is I'm going to tell it to you from a first-hand point of view. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion on certain things too. And I'm not going to try to lead you on. And if I do say, and one thing I do say, if I do say something that's wrong, I always come back and I always correct. I always do a correction video and I correct myself. Because I'm not one of these people that are too big not to be corrected. You know what I'm saying? Oh, intricate. Oh my goodness. Here we go with intricate. Yeah. There you go, Infinity Link. All right. I see you. You on there. You on it. But hey, you guys, I appreciate all the people that came back for the second live. The first one kind of messed up. I will do more like this, of course. I will do more like this, but y'all got to support it. Y'all definitely got to support it. I will come on and do more lives. I appreciate all you guys that came on. Thank you guys so much. I will do more lives, and y'all going to see me more, just having candid conversations like this. But of course, please, if you guys can, check out all my affiliate links. Make sure you go check out Zounds.com. Zounds.com, you can actually get a whole bunch of stuff on the site with no credit or background check. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of stuff with no credit or background check. That means you can order it. They'll ship it to you. You just pay it off with a debit or credit card. You can do monthly payments like that. So go ahead and click that link and go to Zounds. And make sure you guys check out Analog Cases. They have a ton of stuff. Oh, I forgot. Hold on. Make sure you guys go ahead and check out Zounds. Make sure you check out Zounds. Click that link in the description. Go ahead and check them out, okay? You can get a ton of stuff with no credit or background check, okay? So if you need something now, go check it out. It's not everything on the site, but there's a good amount of stuff on the site. And also make sure you guys check out Analog Cases. Hey, y'all like how I got the logos on there. Make sure you guys check out Analog Cases. They have cases for just about every single thing. Go to their site. Link is in the description. You will save 10% if you click that link in the description. They have cases that protect just about everything for your analog needs, okay? So y'all make sure y'all check that out. Check out all my links and my affiliate links. You know what I'm saying? I try to leave those there. I don't put everything on there, but just, check those out. But thank you guys so much. Thank you, Tyrone Sellers, for that donation. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I thank all you guys for coming on and rocking with me today. I've been on here for like 2 hours now, and a little under 2 hours, and like an hour and a half, really. But thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for coming on and support me. And yeah, you will see me again on live actually tomorrow night, because we actually have the live beat review tomorrow night. So y'all make sure y'all come on. Live beat review will be tomorrow night, I think at 9:30 tomorrow night, because my son's at football practice. So I get home a little later. So 9:30 p.m. tomorrow night, live beat review. Let's have a great time. Y'all make sure y'all fill up that collection plate, man. I think we're going to have some pretty good producers this week. And we're going to have a good time, all right? So y'all make sure y'all go look out for all of my other content that I'm going to be uploading this week. Make sure to support all my affiliates. Make sure you guys are in the studio working if you can. If not, enjoy yourselves. Take some time out to your families and just enjoy yourselves and have fun. Have fun, you guys. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed everything. And like I always say, peace out.